the reason our property taxes are so high is that we govern at the municipal level instead of consolidating.
I agree with that. And
There's no reason to have 6 municipalities on Long Beach Island alone. I mean, this is one of the classic cases of it. And we should be governing at the county level. I mean, that's what we did in New York.
I agree, and that's outside of the wheelhouse of running for Congress.
Right.
But there's some things we can do, right, on a federal level to help us with our tax. I agree. There's a lot of things, state and county, that we can do to improve costs. I kind of focused in on education, public education. It's a big chunk of our tax every year, our property tax, right? It's about 50 to 60 some percent, depending on where you live. And we have fruits of that. We have the best school system in the nation.
Right.
Great.
For public schools.
Right.
That's the trade-off.
That's a trade-off, but can we do better? And I think we can. New Jersey, and for me, is finding revenue sources to help us offset our tax burden. New Jersey has legalized marijuana sales. Many other states have too. Okay, whether you afford it or not, it's here, it's legal. And dispensary arguments, those are, popping up here and there, but 10 years from now, we're not going to have these arguments anymore. It's just going to
10 years.
No, well, I'm just saying, like all things new is always a problem.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
the federal government has not legalized marijuana. It is an untapped revenue source. So here's my proposal. We not only legalize it, we decriminalize marijuana on a federal level. That comes with a lot of implications for people who've been convicted of nonviolent possession charges, distribution charges, and we can help them get on a better track. But from the perspective of New Jerseyans, it allows us to tax it on a federal level. Now, how does that help us? Okay, so what if we wrote a law before all the other hands get into the pot looking for some of that money? We wrote a law saying we're going to decriminalize it, and part of that law is every single penny goes to pre-K to 12 education on a public level. Every penny. And by law, you can't do anything, and the only states that receive the money, and we could do a formula based on the Department of Education will charge them with coming up with a formula for the spending, but you can only receive the funds if you have legalized it in your state. Other states should not benefit from our work, right? Or from our progressive thinking that we have opted to legalize it. Other states have opted to legalize it. Some states that are, by the way, last in education still hold that marijuana should be illegal. And they got other problems too, especially when it comes to women's reproductive health, right? But that being said, they shouldn't then be able to say, okay, well, where's our slice of the pie? So let's get this law passed. Maybe they'll decide that they'll legalize it and there'll be more. Let's put the tax model similar to that we have on alcohol sales or cigarette sales, however you want to do it. You have to have that federal stamp. And then let's make sure that the money goes where it needs. That money coming back to New Jersey, I believe, going through our education program, could potentially lower our costs for education, lowering our property taxes, and putting more money back in our pocket. So instead of having a tax increase, now we have a tax decrease. We maintain, if not increase, our funding level on education so that we can equalize our education, because New Jersey is the 4th state in the nation in school segregation because of school choice. People are sending their kids to better districts. Well, if one district is spending $2,000, or I don't know the numbers, say $20,000 a year on educating a child, then every district should be able to do that. And every community can't afford to do that. So maybe we can help level that playing field out with these funds. I don't know. That really requires us to get into the weeds, but we can, at least as a start, that there's a revenue source there, and we're protecting that revenue source for pre-K through 12 education in public schools. I think it's a great start. And why not, right? Because New Jersey is already legal. It's untapped.
It's time for Tim.